You could put half of Trump supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables. Right? The racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic, you name it. And unfortunately, there are people like that. And he has lifted them up. Now, some of those folks, they are irredeemable, but thankfully they are not America. Basket of people are people who feel the government has let them down, the economy has let them down, nobody cares about them, nobody worries about what happens to their lives and their futures, and they're just desperate for change.
Hey, Hillary, you got that one right. We are desperate for change, and you sure ain't it. You are as establishment as it gets. And yes, we're fed up with your kind of government, where the Attorney General secretly meets with your husband while you're the target of an active criminal investigation with no less than 100 FBI agents, and you come out days later promising that you'll keep her on as Attorney General if you become president. You're right. We're fed up with your kind of government, where the destruction of subpoenaed evidence with hammers and bleach bit and delete buttons are tolerated, where you simply ignore subpoenas and you destroy federal documents, where the head of the FBI, when called upon to explain before Congress why you're not being charged with a myriad of federal felonies, is so outclassed and so outlawyered that a 5-year-old could write an indictment based upon federal crimes. You're, Hillary, so right. We are. And Hillary, since you started the name calling, Hillary, you are a liar, and a pathological one at that. You're a cheat. You're dishonest, you are condescending, you are arrogant, contemptuous, and if you think that your half-assed apology will wipe the slate clean, you are wrong. It takes you 17 hours to figure out that you had to apologize. The ordinary people, Hillary, the people who have to follow the law, who have no choice but to pay their taxes, who have to work 2 and 3 jobs, who fight for all of us, many of whom come back with fewer limbs, don't want a president who hates us. We don't want a president who thinks that we're deplorable. And on this, the eve of the worst terror attack on this great nation's soil by Islamic terrorists, I can't trust a president who doesn't think that I'm worthy of being an American.
Conspiracy theorists have cooked up just about every condition for her.
Listen to CNN's devastating debunking of conspiracy theories about Hillary's health.
But said repeatedly she felt great.
I felt fine.
Her husband, Bill Clinton, echoed that, while slamming those fueling the conspiracies.
A letter released in July last year from Clinton's internist of 15 years. Dr. Lisa Bardak describing Clinton as healthy. The doctor ended the letter saying Clinton is in excellent physical condition and fit to be president of the United States.
Okay, so this is CNN's big debunking. Hillary says she feels great, so does Bill Clinton, and so does her personal internist. Wow, CNN! What impartial independent sources beyond reproach. Hillary, her husband, and her internist. Notice how CNN doesn't mention Rutgers University professor of medicine Bob Lahita saying that Hillary should undergo assessment by a team of physicians.
I don't think it's a conspiracy. And, you know, you go back to the history of our presidents, and we've had many presidents up until Lyndon Johnson who concealed their health during their campaigns. So we have issues here, and I think both candidates should be very forthcoming and have perhaps an impartial panel of physicians review the data and make that kind of a decision before the Americans go to the polls.
Notice how CNN also conveniently left out Dr. Drew and the raft of other doctors, neurologists and medical experts who have all questioned Hillary's health. The distrusted mainstream media claims we have no evidence, yet their evidence to debunkers is to say, oh, Hillary says she's fine, so I guess that makes it so. This is why only 6% of Americans trust the mainstream media. It's completely pathetic. Their new tactic is to assert that even questioning Hillary's health is sexist.
And honestly, I think there's an element of sexism to this. The way that they've talked about her. So what's the idea here that somehow because she's a woman and she's a grandma that she's frail?
Really? So was it sexist when the entire media obsessed about John McCain's health back in 2008?
Is McCain simply too old to get elected?
If it's John McCain's health we're talking about, and he's running for the highest office in the land, his health, with limits, becomes the public business.
How concerned are doctors that this skin cancer may in fact return?
Oh yeah, and why is CNN asking questions about Donald Trump's health? We all know that only crackpot conspiracy theorists and sexists do that, according to CNN.
Sexism, 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 sexism.
When all they've got to fire back at us is empty ad hominems like sexist and conspiracy theorist, you know we've hit a nerve. Now a New York Times columnist wants Google to hide search results pertaining to questions over Hillary's health, because censorship is so progressive. Even as the establishment media desperately scrambles to run defense, the list of questions about Hillary's health is only growing. Why is she wearing winter clothing in summer? To hide medical devices? Why does she keep disappearing in the middle of a presidential dogfight to take time off? Why is she afraid of facing the press? No press conference for 262 days. WikiLeaks emails reveal that Hillary was researching decision fatigue syndrome, which causes people to lash out in fits of rage. What's wrong with Hillary's temper? Is this why she's avoided press conferences for the best part of a year? Hillary was then provided information about the drug Provigil, which is used to treat Parkinson's and sleepiness. The mainstream media won't raise any of these questions because they don't have any answers to them. Since my video went viral 3 weeks ago, the whole controversy has imploded. The majority of American voters want Hillary's full medical history to be released. Are they all conspiracy theorists too? They know something is seriously wrong with Hillary and that the pressure to have her health independently assessed is building. If they're not able to keep a lid on this, by dismissing it as a conspiracy theory, by ignoring the concerns of top doctors and medical experts, it could torpedo her entire campaign.
Make sure I'm alive.
Oh my God, there's nothing there.
There's nothing there.
I would like to thank the evangelical and religious community, because I'll tell you what, the support that they've given me, and I'm not sure I totally deserve it, has been so amazing and has had such a big reason for me being here tonight. True. So true. They have much to contribute to our politics, yet our laws prevent you from speaking your minds from your own pulpits. An amendment pushed by Lyndon Johnson many years ago threatens religious institutions with a loss of their tax-exempt status if they openly advocate their political views. Their voice has been taken away. I am going to work very hard to repeal that language and to protect free speech for all Americans.